In this video, I'm going to show you how to access EbscoHost, another one of the 4 different databases or catalogs that Lakeland Library offers access to so that you can find scholarly journal articles and magazine articles, etc. concerning the topic of your research. You go to lakeland.cc.il.us once again, and you scroll down to the library link, and under the databases, right below the library home, under databases, you will click on the second link, which is titled EbscoHost. And as always, it's probably best to use the advanced search. And I'm going to type in the same search keywords that I've used in the other databases. So I'm going to type in child or adolescent or youth in any order. It doesn't matter, so that I can search for any of those terms can be used in the journal, and that would be great. And I can select a field, or I don't have to. If I want to look for these terms in text, or if I know the author's name, I can search by author, title, subject, terms, source, abstract, or if I know the actual number of the journal or book or source that I'm looking for, then I can look it up by the source number. But I would just like to keep this field open so that they'll search everything for it. And I'm also going to search with human trafficking. And remember that we use the quotation marks because we want to search for it as a phrase, not as individual terms, or slavery. And I want to search only for the United States or America. Below that, I have a lot of options here. The ones that I definitely want to click are limit your results to full text and scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Beyond that, everything is just in this one widget, this one box here under limit your results. I want to search, it doesn't matter which month, but from 2009 to 2014, because we have that 5-year time period that we're required to search under. And if I wanted to, I could look under each one of these different databases, Academic Search Premier, and I could limit it. Under Business Source Elite database, I could place limitations on the search so that it will only search for specific information that I tell it to look for. Omnifile Full Text, that's the Wilson Select, that is another database that we have access to. EbscoHost with the Consumer Health Complete is another database. These are all databases that EbscoHost houses in their catalog. And I'm not going to put any limitations on those because I put overall limitations already for full text, peer-reviewed, and the date limitations. And then I'm going to click on search. And you can see I have 106 results total in this search. And they're all academic journals that we can see here. In fact, it appears that they are all academic journals so far. Academic journal is the same. Sometimes it's called scholarly journal. Sometimes it's called a scholar journal. So this is the same thing as a scholarly journal. And that was one of the limitations we put on it. But if I scroll down, you can see that there are 89 academic journals. There are 9 reviews that are still considered academic journals or scholarly journals, peer-reviewed. And there's 1 magazine article that is also still considered an academic journal. So all of these would be, as long as the content in it is what we're looking for, all of these would be credible resources. If I click right on, let's say I find number 1, the topic is Consent, Coercion, and Compassion, Emerging Legal Responses to the Commercial Sexual Exploitation of Minors. Boy, that was a mouthful for me. I almost swallowed it. It tells us the author's name. It tells us the name of the scholarly journal. It gives us the date of publication, the volume number, the issue number, the page numbers, and it tells us it's 70 pages long, and the database that it comes from is Academic Search Premier. In addition to that, you can see that the subjects are relevant to what I'm looking for. So now I want to get an abstract. I want to see more. I don't want to read an entire 70-page article without getting some sort of abstract to see if it's really what I want. Right here, I have the opportunity to preview. I didn't even have to click on it. All I have to do is scroll over it. And it tells me, well, I guess I have to click on it if I really want to mess with it. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to lose it. I'll do it this way. If I click on the title, it takes me to the journal, which I don't want. I wanted the abstract. I guess I'd have to do that a different way. But remember that this is a very, very long document. So I definitely don't want to print it. I will likely want to peruse it, but I don't want to print it. It's too many pages. So even though I have the option here to print, I don't want to use that option. I might want to email it to myself. I might want to put it into a folder, but that folder would be here online. So the only time I'd have access to it is if I'm accessing EbscoHost at the same time. I definitely would like to learn how to cite it, which we'll come back to, but I can export it, which means that I can save it. I can link it to another place if I'd like to, and then there are more options. This is just the bookmark, which again is only going to bookmark it if you are in EbscoHost, I believe. So I want to see how this should be cited so that I don't have to try to figure it out with my book. And I'm going to scroll down until I find the one that says MLA, and there it is, MLA, and it has the citation for it. I can't guarantee EbscoHost will always be accurate in its citation. This one looks at a glance like it is accurate, with the one exception that the ampersand might need to be written out as the word and. Otherwise, this one I see nothing wrong with. However, I have seen others that have not been quite accurately cited. So you might want to double check with your book to make sure, cross-referencing. Okay, I'm going to go back to the result list now. You can see now how you can save these. There's also an option typically when you're using Chrome to just scroll down to the bottom of the PDF, and you can see that you have these options, and this one is save and this one is print. So if you click on the one that looks like a disk, it'll allow you to upload it to your computer wherever you'd like to put it. I'm going to go back to the results list now. We had a lot of results on there. I really want to figure out why this isn't working. Oh. Because if I scroll down, if it'll let me, here we go, now it's letting me. I don't know why it didn't the first time. You can see that there's an abstract here. It tells us the subjects and the information again. It also gives us an abstract. That's a summary. This is a summary of the article, and I can just read this to determine whether or not I think it will be a useful source for my research. I don't have to read 70 pages. And then from here, if I want to download it, I don't have to X out of this preview. I can just go right here to the PDF full text if I want to. Okay, so that's how you use EbscoHost. And if you have any questions, just make sure that you come see me to get help.